Artificial intelligence is a truly revolutionary tool that, if learned and understood properly, unlocks a huge earning potential for you. There's a lot of interesting and affordable products and services available nowadays that can be used to create all the way from small income streams to multi-million-dollar businesses. In this video, I'll break down many of these opportunities with examples into three broad categories: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So stay tuned no matter what skill level you're at, because we'll be covering a lot of useful content throughout this entire video. Hey everyone, if you're new to this channel, my name is Sam, and I make videos just like this to help you understand the power of AI and embrace it in your day-to-day life to create the impact that you want. There are a lot of innovative tools out there that are easily available, and also a bunch of new ones launching every day that can be used to earn $100,000 or even $10,000 a month. Honestly, sky's the limit. Some require no capital and very little knowledge to start, and some can be complex but accordingly generate a higher income. Of course, there's a correlation between the skill level and the capital requirement to the income volume it can create, but sustained over time, all of these will be able to make you a full-time living. We'll first jump into the beginner level ideas. These businesses typically involve simple tasks that can be automated with readily available AI tools and require little to no technical knowledge. Quick note, all of the tools and applications I'll be mentioning throughout the video, I will put a link in the description below as well. The first example we'll be looking at is of using AI tools to answer questions on platforms like Quora or Reddit. I'm sure you have yourself asked or seen people ask various questions on these platforms. Now, we're talking about the conceptual questions where people are trying to understand a study topic or a general event that they're curious about. There's also websites where students ask questions to help them complete homework assignments. Studypool, link in the description below, is one of those websites, and several others that you can find with a simple Google search. Now, I'm sure you have heard by now of a tool called ChatGPT, which is taking over the internet by storm. Most of the examples that we'll be looking at today will use ChatGPT in some capacity. In case you haven't heard of it yet, it's a natural language model created by OpenAI. It's used to answer queries by using prompts in a simple conversational manner. It's almost like Google search, but on steroids, which is exactly what Microsoft is doing at the moment with Bing search by incorporating ChatGPT within it. But more on that later in another video. ChatGPT is also free of cost at the moment as well. If you want to learn more about ChatGPT, I will soon be making a detailed video on it, and we'll cover many of its use cases. But in the meanwhile, you can check out a link in the description below for a video made by Adrian Torok that goes really well over the application and its use cases. All right, to go back to where we were, when you find these questions, you can literally copy and paste the same within ChatGPT, and it will give you a comprehensive write-up on it. You can also ask it to simplify it further as needed. You can also use another tool called Quillbot to paraphrase it in any tone before you post the answers. A point to note here is, depending on where you post the answers, you might get flagged if it's AI-generated content. So I strongly recommend that you paraphrase it, whether yourself or use a tool like Quillbot, to get around the AI detector test. Now, you might be thinking, all that seems cool, but how do I earn money with this? A website like Studypool will obviously pay you in some way for the contributions you make, and this can depend on the number of posts you make or the complexity of the questions itself, which of course depends on the website itself, so make sure you read their terms and conditions to understand how they work before you commit to it. As for Quora and Reddit, because there's a large audience viewing it, you may be able to use affiliate links or direct that audience further on your own website or a product page that can be relevant to the topic. And when they click on those affiliate links or buy one of your products, that's how you'll be making money. These are typically the ways you would, or several other people, are generating income out of these. Please ensure you read the terms and conditions on the websites before you post anything to have a good grasp of their rules and regulations. The next example that we'll be looking at is that of translation services. On freelance websites like Fiverr and Upwork, you will find many jobs people post requiring translation to different languages for a write-up that they will provide you with. Again, you can just use ChatGPT or any other AI translator for generating the entire translations with just a click of a button. However, I highly recommend that you either speak the language yourself or know someone who speaks it to verify the translations before you submit them. And as long as you do a decent job at it and meet the standards of the customer, you will be able to get paid for it. The third example, similar to translations, are of summarization work. You can use the same freelance websites like Fiverr or Upwork to grab the jobs and be able to submit responses the same way using the same tools. These will require a bit more work, as mostly you will be asked to summarize long pieces of text. For example, a paper with multiple pages, or a book chapter, or even an entire book itself. And you'll have to work on planning the outline of the summary and then use an AI tool like ChatGPT to summarize it in parts and then put it all together before submission. Remember, these tools are readily available, which means anyone can use them, so you'll have to put some work in a way to give it your unique touch to make these work in the long run and actually create a recurring income out of it. The fourth example we will be looking at is of starting a blog. Tools like ChatGPT, Jasper AI, and other natural language models are amazing at creating excellent blog outlines and even write an entire post by itself. You can use them to generate topic ideas, that too consistently in your niche, and plan your content schedule accordingly. If you do end up using them to write entire blog posts, I highly recommend paraphrasing them, since Google can tell AI-generated posts very well, and this could hurt your blog from an SEO standpoint. Again, you can just use tools like Quillbot to paraphrase these. However, if you want to create a blog that can sustain you financially for a long time and fuel your passion, use these tools more for brainstorming topic ideas, research, and outlines. The fifth and the last example in the beginners category is a YouTube channel. Since the creator economy is on the rise, there's an endless number of tools to assist you in creating and automating many of the processes, whether it's a blog or a YouTube channel. If you want to be a content creator on YouTube, just like a blog, you can use the same tools to help you brainstorm topic ideas, research these topics, write outlines and scripts, and much more. There's also AI tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ that helps you with the SEO for these videos you create. There's honestly so much to cover about these examples. So if you're specifically looking to start a blog or a YouTube channel, I will be making detailed videos on both, where I will cover many of these useful tools at length and provide step-by-step instructions for you to follow along. So definitely keep an eye out for those videos in the coming weeks. These are just some of the examples of beginner-friendly ideas to get you started, and hopefully you found some useful nuggets in there. Please remember, the AI tools are there just to assist you in many ways, but ultimately you will have to put in the work to sustain a full-time living out of these. This brings us to our next category, which is for the intermediates. These may require more knowledge or capital to set up, since they typically involve more complex tasks that require specialized AI tools and expertise. The first one we're going to look at is freelance research. You can find a lot of research assignments on websites like Fiverr and Upwork, or even set up a research consulting firm where you could retain clients that require research work on a consistent basis. Depending on the type of research you specialize in, you may combine a lot of AI tools for summarization, outlining, and deep diving into certain topics, or may use plug-and-play data analysis applications that use machine learning algorithms to analyze data and come up with statistical findings. Once you are done with the research, you can also use tools like Beautiful AI and DeckRobot to put it all together for presentations. So as long as you are good at research and know how the entire process works, you will be able to use these tools to assist your workflow, as well as automate and speed up various microprocesses and focus on growing your business. Next, we'll explore marketing automation. Now, whether you have a small to mid-sized business in any industry, or an actual marketing company that helps clients grow and generate leads, you can use several AI tools to speed up the various processes. AI tools within the marketing space has grown quite a bit over the last few years. Tools like Surfer SEO and Jasper AI are amazing at helping you become a better copywriter. For example, Jasper AI claims to 10x your content output, Even at half of that, you'll be able to grow your client base significantly. Tools like Marketo, Pardot, or Eloqua are commonly used for automating marketing processes, from lead generation all the way to client onboarding. There are enough tools out there at the moment at affordable prices that can help you with predictive analytics, social media trend analysis, personalization for your customers. These tools have already gathered a ton of data and trained models that can then read your customer and sales data and provide you with sound recommendations. Next, we have the ever popular web design. As more and more low to no code applications come out, it's significantly reducing the barriers of entry for these industries. You can literally use ChatGPT to create all your contents for the website, get Midjourney and DALL-E to produce the art content, and put the entire website together using Editor X. All the links to these tools are in the description below, and I've also linked a video by Codex Community explaining the step-by-step process to do exactly that. ChatGPT can also help you write and fix your code if you want more control and decide to write the website's HTML, CSS, and backend for yourself. It is insane how robust these AI tools are nowadays for web design. Similar to web design, application developers has various AI tools to speed up their development process as well. GitHub Copilot by OpenAI, the same guys behind ChatGPT, has become extremely popular among developers and their community to assist them with coding. It offers you the opportunity to use plain English prompts to generate code in various computer languages. It also helps you convert code you have written to other languages so it can be used natively on different platforms. Research conducted at GitHub has seen 88% of the developers finding Copilot has increased their productivity, and a whopping 96% have reported being faster with it. Even if you have very basic grasp over programming languages, you would be able to use ChatGPT and Copilot to create solutions to complex problems as long as you can commit the time and effort to get it done. This brings us to our last example in this category, which is AI-driven API development. API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is essentially thought of as a method to communicate between two applications. With large amount of data being easily available and companies like Google, OpenAI, and others making their extensively trained models available through these APIs, the possibility of repackaging these to create specialized industry-driven solutions are endless. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the guys behind ChatGPT, stated in an interview that he expects a rise in several industry-specific multimodal models over the next few years. What this essentially means is if you take a model like ChatGPT and train it on an industry-specific data, say, for example, you train the model on medical diagnostics data, and hypertune its parameters to create a new model which can work on diagnosing disease based on the symptoms. Of course, this requires machine learning expertise along with capital or time-intensive data resources, but imagine how extraordinary these models can become, considering within 3 months of ChatGPT's launch, OpenAI has reached an estimated valuation of $29 billion. As you can tell by now, these tools, depending on your expertise and other commitment abilities, can really offer endless possibilities of creating businesses and income sources. With that being said, we reach our last category, which is advanced. Now, before you think these are probably ridiculously difficult and needs millions in investment, let me explain what classifies as advanced. Artificial intelligence is basically trained specific computer intelligence that can learn and solve complex problems. So if you break it down into the 3 different components, which are training, intelligence, and the application of it, we get the 3 specific directions that require different resources. Ideally, if you are a curious genius, you would focus on creating multimodal algorithms. By the way, multimodal basically means a model that can learn from various types of data, sources like text, image, audio, all at the same time. Remember, ChatGPT is trained on text, so you can gather, multimodal models are going to be that much more powerful at doing what AI does best. Alternatively, if you are loaded and or have time, you can build data-oriented businesses where you focus on gathering unique data from all over the world that can feed these behemoth algorithms. And lastly, if you are a creative genius who is also loaded, or can arrange funds for prototyping, you can focus on some of the most complex applications like intelligent robotics. This will enable you to create super intelligent robots who can take over the world and enslave humanity, or alternatively just clean people's houses and move boxes in warehouses. Either way, you will be a billionaire. This brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully this gave you a lot of ideas to think about and tools that you can use right away. If you're interested in finding out what can we expect to see in the world of artificial intelligence over the next few years, watch this video next. I wish you all the best. Until next time.